Let's go to August 2015. Please describe your relationship with Mr. Depp in that time frame.
You said August?
August 2015.
August 2015 was a very difficult time. Following the brief honeymoon we had, Johnny's use continued, well, it started again is a better way to describe it, and lo and behold, so did our disagreements, coincidentally, not coincidentally. I got an offer to do a job which was already a problem, or problematic. I was considering working on a TV series that had James Franco in it. I was asked if I would meet with the people who are making the show.
Objection, hearsay.
It's not offered to prove the truth of the matter.
Overruled.
Thank you.
And so I was considering taking that job, and there was a possibility it would require brief nudity, which I knew I would have to negotiate down, but obviously that was a problem for Johnny. Didn't want me to do that, didn't want me to work. And frankly, I needed to. And there was another film I had coming out that I had previously shot. It's called London Fields. It was a source of a lot of fighting between us because of the sexuality in the role. It was a constant negotiation between myself and the filmmakers. They made a film, and Johnny told me that he had heard about it, was unhappy with some of what he had heard. He was unhappy with me having done a sex scene in it that he claimed I didn't tell him about. I did not actually film the scene he was speaking of. He demanded that we watch a screener of it, which is like a version of the film before it's released. We got one sent to where we were at the time, Johnny's Chateau in France. It's in a remote part of France. And once again, we're in this remote place, and we're screening this film that I appeared in, and there was a sex scene in that movie that started before Johnny freaked out because it looked like me. They had used a body double. Unbeknownst to me, without my permission, they used a body double to do a sex scene. So I have an incredibly jealous man who already is upset with me for breaking the rule that I had a sex scene. On top of that, I'm telling him it wasn't me. I didn't shoot that scene. And you can imagine how upset he was. He was irate and was calling me a liar, a whore, among other things. And we had that combined with the fact that I had even entertained doing this job that involved James Franco was a pressure cooker. I called it a week of hell later.
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled. Johnny at one point slapped me in the face in our bedroom in the chateau that we were staying in. At another moment, he punched me across the jaw. At one point, he kind of either pushed or threw. It's hard to describe to you which of those two it is, because I can't tell you. I just know I went flying into this old church furniture. I later thought I had a concussion. It was the first time I thought I had sustained a concussion. And I wrote about it later.
Now, did there come a time in this time frame that you found a folder on Mr. Depp's computer?
Yes.
What was it labeled?
It was on Johnny's opening page, his desktop. It said, "No fun for JD," in all caps.
And what was in that folder?
It was a collection of pictures of me from various red carpets, starting on the press tours that I had been on, where it zoomed in pictures of what he thought was, like inappropriate clothing, side boob, cleavage, anytime I moved.
Objection calls for speculation.
All right, I'll sustain as to what she believes it was.
Okay. What pictures were in that folder that we have seen today?
The ones I saw of the kind of rose-colored gold dress and the red dress were both in that file.
Now, what, if anything, did Mr. Depp say to you or ask you about how you got those cuts on your arms?
Nothing.
What, if anything, has Mr. Depp ever said to you or asked you about any injuries that you've sustained over those years?
Johnny's obviously never asked me how I got any of those scars.
Did you ever witness Mr. Depp self-injuring himself?
Often. He did that often.
Please tell the jury about that. What did he do?
I first started, I can't tell you what I told my therapist, but I almost called 911 in New York in 2014, August of 2014, I believe, because I thought he had done himself an injury. He often, in fights, would cut his arms or hold a knife to his chest or draw blood superficially at first, but later, like in 2016, especially as our relationship was ending. He also put cigarettes out on himself. He'd flick them at me, and once or twice tried to put one out on me, but mostly he would do it while screaming at me. He once did it right in front of me, screaming at my face as he put the cigarette out on his cheek.
Now, I'm going to take you to September 15, 2015, and Michelle, if we can bring up Depp exhibit, that's plaintiff's exhibit 345A. This is another audio recording, and it's 5:54 to 7:55. I'd like to move the admission, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, 345A in evidence. Thank you.
If you can play, Michelle, please.
I was gonna pour you one.
I'm an alcoholic. You should.
I don't have any